Hi, my name is Liz Castro DeWitt, and I'm the president and CEO of the Florida Beverage Association, representing non-alcoholic beverages in the Sunshine State. Our members include Coke Florida, PepsiCo, Keurig Dr. Pepper, Pepsi Refreshment Services, Buffalo Rock, and Coca-Cola United. We provide over 19,000 jobs across the state and have a direct economic impact of over $13 billion. I'm also honored to be the chair of the Florida Recycling Partnership Foundation, a 501c3 organization with the mission to educate policymakers, business leaders, and the public about the benefits of recycling. The foundation conducts educational programs and research projects to support our mission. One of our signature programs in partnership with the Florida Department of Environmental Protection is Florida Recycles Week. Each day during the week of November 15th, we offer free webinars with specific themes to help educate people on the proper way to recycle. The webinars can be found at the Florida Recycling Partnership website, which is www.flrecycling.org. We also would like to thank Governor Ron DeSantis for proclaiming November 9th through 15th as Florida Recycles Week. During Florida Recycles Week, we held a press conference in Tallahassee and announced our Recycling Champion Award winners. Local governments, businesses, and nonprofits either submitted applications to be considered for the award or were nominated by their peers. Dean Susan Fiorito and Dr. Mark McNeese from the Jim Moran's College of Entrepreneurship at Florida State University reviewed the applications and selected 8 winners in different categories. We want to thank Dean Fiorito and Dr. McNeese for being our judges. So let's get started. Make sure to type your questions in the chat box, and at the end of all the presentations, Kina Corey, our executive director, will ask our winners to respond. Let's begin with the City of Orlando and Mayor Buddy Dyer.
Hi, I'm Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer. I would like to thank the Florida Recycling Partnership for recognizing the City of Orlando's Rethink Your Waste campaign. Over the last decade, we've made notable progress toward reaching our ambitious goal of zero waste to landfill by 2040. This effort is far from complete, however. With the hard work, dedication, and passion exhibited by both city staff and our community, we are overwhelmingly confident that we'll make that a reality. Every day, we move closer to becoming the most sustainable city in the United States. Here to tell you more about the work we've been doing is Solid Waste Acting Assistant Division Manager, Joe England.
Thank you, Mayor Dyer, for your vision and leadership in sustainability. We appreciate the Florida Recycling Partnership for recognizing the city's hard work in the areas of recycling and waste diversion. We would not be able to provide the stellar service that we do without the dedication and steadfast effort of every member of Orlando's solid waste team. Furthermore, the Greenworks crew continues to move our sustainability goals forward by equipping each city department with the knowledge and resources needed to be successful. Lastly, I wanted to take a moment to draw attention to the vast number of workers across all sectors of the solid waste industry. This has been a tough last couple of years, and we have faced and continue to face unprecedented challenges. The countless drivers, collectors, and waste processors are the ones keeping our communities clean, and for that we cannot thank you enough. Now, here to tell us more about Orlando's strategy for planning and measuring our waste diversion work, Tamara Reynolds.
Thank you, Joe. Our Rethink Your Waste communication campaign was created in support of our zero waste efforts. The ambitious goal we set will take more than participation in our waste diversion programs. We need to reshape our thoughts and habits as consumers. Our first step in developing our messaging and strategy was to find out what our residents' habits were. Through direct feedback, through polls and surveys, we identified what type of messaging resonated the most. We also analyzed our residents' recycling behaviors by canvassing neighborhoods and recording what was in their recycling carts. From this direct feedback and baseline research, we were able to formulate our Rethink Your Waste plan. Our strategy consists of community engagement, such as educational opportunities at events, signage in neighborhoods, education at local schools and community centers, and even direct feedback on recycling habits through tagging our residential recycling carts. Due to COVID, much of our outreach in 2020 was digital. We tried to get creative on social media with Rethink Your Waste Bingo, where we encouraged our followers to identify how many ways they could get bingo by marking their waste reduction habits they participate in. We also branched out our services to include election sign recycling. For this, we partnered with local organizations and municipalities to set up drop-off locations for the campaign yard signs and their metal frames. Prior to this year, much of our education was in person. But thanks to the widespread acceptance of virtual communication platforms, we were able to increase our education and outreach through webinars on recycling, food waste reduction, and composting, and reducing your waste for the holidays. Now, to further explain our strategies and how we've been able to record beneficial impacts, it's my pleasure to introduce Resham, Sustainability Project Manager for Zero Waste.
Thanks, Tamara. The city's developed numerous programs and tools to become zero waste by 2040. Some of our recent efforts to reach this goal is the expansion of recycling services beyond just residential homes to include more than 22,000 multifamily units since 2019. Our goal is to simultaneously increase participation rates while reducing contamination rates. To support this effort, we've developed an Orlando Collects app and a What Goes Where tool that has guided more than 70,000 residents to properly recycle different items. We also offer commercial food waste collection services, as well as drop-off sites and free backyard composters for residents. We've diverted more than 3 million pounds of food waste from landfills since 2014 and distributed more than 6,500 composters. This means we've created clean energy and compost instead of greenhouse gas emissions. We're also piloting food waste prevention apps and embarking on a food rescue study in hopes to increase the amount and efficiency of food donation in our community. We've donated and delivered 1,800 pounds of edible food to local nonprofits, pantries, and last-mile organizations from our pilot alone. Effective education and partnership are at the backbone of all our efforts. For example, we use area-specific demographic data to develop educational programs and outreach materials that acknowledge the vast socioeconomic diversity of our city. We reach our residents through neighborhood meetings, webinars, and social media posts that incorporate culturally appropriate messaging. In order to reach zero waste within the next 2 decades, we've also begun implementing solutions for large specialty waste streams such as textiles and electronics. In the future, we'll need to explore and expand the diversity of these specialty collection programs. However, the best way to achieve our goal is to practice a zero waste lifestyle and facilitate closed-loop manufacturing and a circular economy.
Rethink Your Waste gives us an organized and unified path towards addressing our collective waste goals, while at the same time strengthening the confidence in each of us as individuals to take action on moving that needle of change forward.
Part of our mission at Publix is to be involved as responsible citizens in the communities we serve. Our goal is to make a positive impact on the lives of our neighbors, and we do so through a number of invaluable resources, including associate volunteerism, financial contributions, and corporate sustainability initiatives. Publix believes in meeting today's needs while being mindful of what's essential for tomorrow. Our sustainability program focuses on 5 important environmental pillars: water stewardship, landfill diversion, energy conservation, plastics and packaging, and responsible sourcing. We've made considerable strides in each focus area, and we're honored to be recognized as one of the 2021 Recycling Champions by the Florida Recycling Partnership Foundation. And we'd like to thank the judges from the Jim Moran College of Entrepreneurship for naming us as one of the winners for our work in water stewardship and landfill diversion. Last spring, Publix announced a commitment of $2 million to help fund efforts to remove invasive tree and plant species across 1,000 acres of wetland in the Florida Everglades. A portion of the donation is being given to the National Audubon Society over a period of 5 years to help remove invasive willows and other plants from approximately 500 acres in the Corkscrew Swamp Sanctuary. The remainder is being donated to the National Park Foundation over 3 years to help remove and control Australian pine trees in more than 500 acres of the Saline Glades in Everglades National Park. These ecosystems are not only a natural habitat for many endangered native plant and animal species, but also help provide drinking water to nearly 8 million residents in South Florida. But our work isn't stopping there. We have a strong focus on limiting the use of plastic shopping bags in our stores by encouraging our customers to opt for reusable bags at checkout. Not only has this initiative kept billions of plastic bags from entering local landfills, but we've also donated 10 cents from the purchase of each reusable bag, up to $125,000 annually, to support sustainability projects in our communities. Since 2016, we've donated over $600,000 to the Arbor Day Foundation to plant 605,000 longleaf pine seedlings across Florida's Little Orange Creek Preserve and Withlacoochee State Forest. It's estimated these trees will collect over 66 billion gallons of rainfall and absorb more than 182,000 metric tons of net carbon dioxide over the next 50 years. By restoring these environments, we're helping clean waterways and reinstate vital wildlife habitats. And we couldn't do this alone. It's through the efforts of our thoughtful customers and associates that we make our biggest impact. Each of our stores is equipped with storefront recycling bins for our customers to bring in their recyclable paper, foam, and flexible plastics. We recently updated signage on these bins to provide clear directions for the types of materials we can accept and properly recycle. We found this not only reduced contamination rates, but also educated our customers on items they can recycle with us that are not accepted through their local curbside programs. Our associates also help in conservation efforts by getting into a green routine. Through this program, associates are given tips and best practices to use throughout our operations. From quickly reporting leaks and irrigation issues to properly sorting and preparing recyclable materials, our associates play a key role in reducing our impact on our planet. Through our customer and company-wide recycling initiatives, in 2020 alone, we recycled more than 298,000 tons of cardboard, 12,500 tons of mixed plastic, 2,600 tons of waxed cardboard, and 5,100 tons of mixed paper, in addition to many other items. As a company, we diverted more than 53% of our waste from entering landfills, and we continue working hard to increase our recycling numbers each year. Because at Publix, green isn't just our color, it's our commitment. Thank you for recognizing and celebrating our achievements in sustainability.
My name is Billie Jo Huddleston, and I am the Environmental Services Manager over Waste Programs for FPL. I am honored and proud to accept this Recycling Champion Trailblazer Award for FPL, and I'm excited to share some of the exciting things we do to reduce our waste profile for the company. Reducing a company's waste footprint is all about the basics, including reducing the amount of waste generated, reusing materials so they don't become a waste, and recycling materials. FPL has a corporate recycling and services facility that receives waste from the generating facilities and operating centers, and it is at this facility where waste and material are segregated. It is here that it is determined whether material can be recycled or reconditioned and put back into inventory. Another unique function of this facility is they also redeploy surplus materials to other sites for use where possible. This entire operation is designed to support FPL's commitment to conserving resources by proactively looking for opportunities to reduce waste, reuse, and recycle materials. The FPL Corporate Recycling Services, or CRS operation, can process nearly all end-of-use materials it receives from the generating facilities and service centers. The recycling and salvage efforts between the CRS and the facilities is coordinated to make this process more efficient. This includes pre-sorting materials at the sites before sending them to the CRS. Once at the CRS, further processing and sorting is conducted to determine the final disposition of the materials handled there. The following slides show how some of the specific items are handled. The FPL CRS facility has processes to recycle the different types of cable and wire that it receives. Underground cable has an oxidation inhibitor, so it has to be removed from its jacket before it can be cut. Overhead wire doesn't have the inhibitor, so it can be processed either by granulation or chopping. Submarine cable is sheathed, so it is usually placed in lined covered containers. The pictures show the cable granulator that is utilized at the facility and the finished product. And once these materials are processed, they are sent to appropriate recycling vendors. These pictures show the underground cable recycling operation from when the cable is received at the facility, prepped and processed to final product ready for recycling. In this case, the rubber, the copper, and the wire itself are all recycled. Hardware sent to the CRS is sorted by type and whether the item can be reused or refurbished. If so, these items are directed to the refurbishment area. If not, they are broken down and the components are managed or sold accordingly. Hardware is the primary material refurbished and returned to inventory for reuse and redeployments. A significant portion of the hardware received is refurbished. The photo on the left shows hardware and surplus material as it is brought on site and staged to be sorted. The photo on the right shows when it is ready to be returned to inventory. In these photos, you can see some of the power delivery material that is refurbished. Street lights that are less than 5 years old are assessed for warranty. If the units test okay, they are refurbished and put back into inventory. The refurbishing and reconditioning of material received at the CRS facility is a substantial part of their operation. In 2020, nearly $5 million worth of material was put back into inventory. Since this is material that would have normally been disposed of, this reduces the waste stream for the company. In addition, there is a resource sharing operation that the CRS assists with. Service centers and generating facilities will utilize this team to help with dispensing of surplus or dormant materials that another facility may be able to use. FPL also has a robust recycling program that the CRS assists with managing, as you can see from these numbers. In 2020, FPL recycled more than 14 million pounds of scrap wire and metal, nearly 780,000 pounds of electronic waste, more than 11,000 tons of vegetation waste, approximately 9,400 yards of wood, which was donated to local recyclers, 142,500 pounds of paper and cardboard, and more than 833,000 gallons of mineral oil. These pictures show some of the recycling operations at the CRS facility. The photo on the left shows the wood recycling process where the wood is being broken down before sending to recyclers. The center photo shows the area where transformers are staged while determining if they are able to be recycled. The photo on the right shows cardboard and cable jackets that have been baled, waiting for pickup from recycling vendors. In conclusion, the FPL corporate recycling and services operations help support our commitment to conserving resources by providing centralized support for customer service and generating facility waste handling needs. Having this operation facilitates the accumulation, segregation, and ultimate dispensation of waste. Having a dedicated facility and team that can receive this material, sort it, determine if it can be refurbished, then refurbish it and return it to inventory, or see if another facility can use it or find a recycler for it, has streamlined the waste handling process for FPL. I appreciate being able to take a few minutes to talk about this facility and the team, and again, thank the Florida Recycling Partnership for the Recycling Champion Trailblazer Award.
Hello, my name is Jonathan North and I'm Vice President of Sustainable and Core Solutions for Rarick Pacific. We were recently recognized by the Florida Recycling Partnership as a recipient of the 2021 Recycling Champion Award, for which we were very grateful. What I'd like to now do is spend a few minutes to explain some of the background and the technology for which we were recently recognized. Thank you. Rarick Pacific is a provider of sustainable solutions for future-forward businesses. We are a manufacturer and provider of high-quality injection molded plastic products and solutions that service customers in both what we call the supply chain as well as the environmental space. As you can see from this slide, we service a wide variety of customers. On the waste management side, we provide products to cities and municipalities, as well as local and national waste haulers. And on the supply chain side, we provide products to food and beverage manufacturers, distributors, and retailers in the poultry, protein, fresh produce, dairy, bakery sectors for both traditional retailing platforms as well as an emerging e-commerce business. There are four main pillars to our business. I'm going to spend the vast majority of my time here explaining a little bit more about core, but also want to touch on fusion, vision, and services, which all combine together to support one another. We have a manufacturing footprint that has 7 facilities located across the US, an 8th location based in Mexico. Beyond that, we provide on-site services to several large retailing customers, and we have a large network of national recycling partners who support us in our ambition to incorporate more and more recycled material into our supply chain and into the products that we supply to our customers. Our business is very much founded on the circular economy, and our products fit the circular economy model very well. We start with selecting the right raw material for the product. Beyond that, we then design products that meet our customers' application, making sure that we fit their requirements for strength, stiffness, and durability. We leverage our 7 US manufacturing plants, which put us in close proximity to our customers' location, minimizing transportation and length of haul, and minimizing subsequent fuel and emissions. Once our plastic products are in the field, we have a range of material handling devices that help our customers to move them more seamlessly and more efficiently throughout their supply chains, which I'll touch on a little bit later on. Our in-field service teams support and prolong the life of the product by inspecting and repairing those same products. We have a range of technology suites that allow our customers to extract even more value from the products that they're using through asset tracking and order optimization and verification. And then finally, at end of life, when the products are no longer able to fulfill the purpose for which they were intended, we leverage our recycling network to bring as much of that material back into our locations where we grind it up and incorporate it into new products that continue then to add value into future supply chains. Sustainability truly is at our core, which I'll hopefully share with you. I'll show you how in a couple of seconds' time. We have a range of products that are designed to be as sustainable as possible. On the waste management and environmental side, we launched this side of our business with a curbside recycling tote, and through increased consumption of materials, increasing creation of waste, changing customer demands, and changing technology in the recycling space, we've diversified and now offer a large range of products to satisfy both residential and commercial recycling and waste collection needs. Within that family of products, we've also over the last few years developed some proprietary technology called co-injection that allows us to inject a core of recycled material in the middle of a product and to surround that core with virgin material. This allows us to offer a product to our customer with a high degree of recycled content, but also at the same time offer them a multitude of different colors of the finished product. So truly able to deliver a sustainable product without compromising its appearance. I'd now like to share with you a quick video that goes into this in a little bit more detail.
Communities well positioned to thrive in future decades are ones who prioritize sustainable solutions today. Ocean-bound plastics pulled from local waterways are finding a better home in the cores of Rarick Pacific Company's new Ocean Core rollout carts. These Ocean Core carts are 100% recyclable, ensuring they never again end up in our water sources. It's a simple solution that is making life better in cities and towns all over North America. It's never been done before, and we're pretty proud of that. Rarick Pacific Company. Sustainability is at our core.
So I hope that video gave you some insights into how we're able to inject the recycled material into the core of our products without compromising on the appearance of the finished part. As you can see on this page, we are able to incorporate up to 40% recycled material in the core of these rollout carts without compromising the appearance. The blue and green container here both contain 40%. That recycled material comes from a number of different sources, what we would call the more traditional PCR post-consumer route, as well as more recently, and we hope more in the future, we've been able to incorporate some challenging and difficult to recycle materials, including bulky rigid, as well as ocean plastic. We're also able to incorporate up to 50% recycled material, but at the same time, we have to offer that product in black. So that's on the environmental side. On the supply chain side of our business, as I mentioned, we manufacture a large range of plastic totes, pallets, bins, boxes, and crates to traditional manufacturing and retailing partners, as well as an emerging e-commerce business. Similar to the environmental side, we focus heavily on increasing our share of recycled material across these products. And as you can see on this page, we're able to incorporate up to 75% in certain applications. In all cases, though, before we evaluate the material, we want to understand the effect that it might have on the finished product. So we always test and evaluate the performance of the product, because what we don't want to do is put a product in the market that on the surface of it appears to be more sustainable because it has a higher amount of recycled material, for instance, if that same product doesn't have the same performance, durability, or lifespan of the product it replaces. So Rare Earth Pacific, with two sets of very discrete and very unique customers, again, supply chain and environmental, puts us in a very unique position where we can collaborate with our customer base. On the one hand, our supply chain customers largely have a goal to increase their share of recycled material in their own products and in their own supply chain. And our environmental partners are out every day collecting this material and sorting and separating it. So Rare Earth Pacific, with our 7 manufacturing plants in the US, is in a privileged and unique position to collaborate, turning waste into resources, and in doing so, helping our customers achieve their sustainability goals. We have a lab in our Kansas City facility that performs a lot of performs a lot of testing on different sources of recycled material. They receive material in and do lab scale tests to determine the strength and the stiffness and the durability of that material in combination with various different virgin materials and colors in order to make sure that that material performs as we would hope and expect. Once we pass those tests, we take that same material out to the production floor and we incorporate it at scale into the various different products I've shown you in previous slides. We've been able to procure material from a variety of different sources, as I've mentioned, PCR, ocean, bulky rigid, and some other byproducts from the recycling industry, such as caps and labels. We don't just focus there, though. We also continue to focus on improving the sustainability footprint of the virgin material that we use, and we work very proactively with our suppliers to understand the sustainability attributes of virgin raw material and how we can collaborate together to make those products in more sustainable ways. So that's the core of our business. 3 other pillars, though, that lend support to those same products, keeping them in service as long as possible and adding incremental value to our customers. The first of which is our Fusion pillar. This is a range of material handling devices that we've developed over the last few years that really help our customers move their pallets and containers and boxes through the supply chain more seamlessly, more efficiently than before, relying less on labor and allowing more efficiency to be delivered through the last mile distribution. Our technology through our Vision platform is a number of tools and platforms that allow our customers to extract even more value from these plastic products, from individual asset tracking and tracing, through order verification and service verification, and a number of other different products that we're able to offer. And then finally, our services, We have field-based personnel that provide support to customers on a short-term interim basis as well as longer term, allowing our customers to extract even more value and drive more efficiency, extract more value from our products and deliver more efficiency into their supply chains. Again, this illustrates how all 4 of our pillars work together to deliver as much value to our customers as possible, to extend the life of our products as long as possible, and at end of life to enable the capture and return of those products, regrinding and reprocessing to create more value in future products. So my question is, if any of this is of interest to you and relevancy to you and to your sustainability goals, how might we collaborate to create value in your supply chain and help to achieve your sustainability goals? Thanks for your attention.
Good morning. I'm very excited to be here. My name is Jason Stone-Seifert. I'm representing Universal Orlando. I'm very excited to be speaking to all of the great things that we've been doing with our recycle program across our various streams, our engagement with our team members, and touching on also what the future may hold for us. I'm going to start out with who I am. I've been with Universal Orlando since 2000. Over the past 21 years, I've worked in various departments and in various roles. I'm currently the senior manager for back of house operations and projects. So I support the cleaning of all employee areas across property and our off-site locations, capital planning for the department, the development of new offerings. For instance, I got to work with our creative team on Velocicoaster to make sure we could clean it and have the right recycling and trash receptacles available. And of course, Universal Orlando's recycling program. So part of being responsible for the recycling program is to oversee our efforts across Universal Orlando on all shifts, provide analysis to all the data that we get back from our partners of the tonnage that's generated, to identify where we can grow, make recommendations on all of that data, and then research new equipment and options and working through that whole process. So with anything with our recycle program, it all starts with the engagement of our team members, and we do that in a couple ways. One thing is called Green Fest. It's kind of a expo kind of setup. We set up in one of our event spaces with multiple departments talking about everything that each department does about recycling and sustainability as a whole, and a chance for our team members to also hear what they can do while they're on property and even at home, bringing in some of our third-party vendors as well. We do incentive programs. The picture there on the right is from Halloween Horror Nights. For anyone who's visited that, is a very beverage-heavy event. So we try and create a fun way to encourage all of the operators at those haunted houses to collect as much recycling material as possible, and have a fun little kind of themed trophy that we hand out to the team that recycles the most each night. We do waste audits, which I'll touch on a little later, some of our recycle streams. Awareness literature, there's great literature out there from different companies and municipalities, but we also wanted to create documents that speak to what our team members see. So it's definitely geared towards this material goes in this colored bin and all those different things, what to do with different things. And that also kind of speaks to the proper equipment, making sure that everything is sized right, color coded, to make it as easy as possible for our team members to recycle right. So I'll kind of go into some of our streams right now that we've been recycling over the past many, many years. The first one is our cardboard. We currently have 23 balers across property and over 50 towable dumpsters. Those towable dumpsters are taken to an on-site processing area where they're emptied and sorted to remove any trash. And then all that cardboard is then baled. So all of our cardboard across property does get baled and sent out clean. I think in the entire history, I can only remember maybe 4 or 5 bales ever being left for contamination or anything like that. So very proud of what we're able to do, and the commitment of our team members, not only to make sure that the front line, make sure that the balers get loaded correctly, but also our team sorting it, all those loose containers as well. Next up is our commingled program. So we have many hundred thousands of recycled containers across property, both in our front of house areas and back of house areas. In our guest facing areas, those are heavily themed to make sure they match in with the area, but also have some consistency to them between branding and messaging to make sure that guests from all over the world that are visiting our parks know that that is a recycling container. We have on-property collection and processing areas. So everything from those cans is collected and brought to one of these areas where it is sorted on site. We do sort all of our recycling, not our trash, but we do sort all of our recycling on property by a group of extremely passionate and dedicated team members that sort those and put them into a designated compactor to get sent out. We also sort out aluminum and we bale that separately, which has been a great program for us. And I'm very proud to say that since we started the kind of commingled program in 2010, we've only had, I think, 3 compactor loads ever rejected for contamination. So that again speaks to the passion and the commitment of our frontline team members that are there sorting that material 365 days a year, especially during that Halloween Horror Nights event that I mentioned earlier. Next up is our organic food waste program. Over 35 restaurants and production kitchens on property are participating. We're slowly ramping that back up. We had to kind of scale it back in reaction to the events of the world, but very proud that the program has gotten back up off the ground. We collect daily across property and again, handle it on site, dump everything into a designated compactor just for food waste. Then every bin that is collected is cleaned, regardless of how full it was. If there was food in it and we had to empty it, it'll get clean. We have a special pressure washing contraption that makes sure that that's all clean. The amazing thing is that we generate over 1,000 tons of food waste every year. So it's a very significant portion of our recycling portfolio. And we're very proud of the program, especially knowing that we very much handle it and process it in-house, again, through a commitment of our hourly team members that, again, just to me speaks volumes in and of itself. And next up is our pallets. So obviously we generate a lot of pallets. There's a lot of food and merchandise that gets delivered. What can't be given back, that predominantly end-of-life pallets, so broken, busted, oddly shaped, things like that. We collect. Previously, we were putting it in an open-top dumpster that was going out multiple times a week. We were able to, again, crunch the numbers and look at existing equipment that's out there, and we're able to invest in what's called a pre-crusher. So it takes those pallets and crushes them down to maximize the airspace. We've been able to go from, again, 4 or 5 times a week to 4 or 5 times a month. So there's definitely been a savings there and a lot more efficient use of property and land and things like that. Since we started this, started collecting pallets, these end-of-life pallets, we've had a consistent 20% increase year over year, which is incredible. Even an increase throughout 2020 into 2021. So even despite the challenges that we had, this program is still able to grow, which is incredible. Again, the commitment of our team. Last but not least is our textile program. Again, one of our more newer programs that started a couple years ago. We collect daily from our wardrobe department, so all of the team member uniforms. Those are our entertainment team. And collect those and dump them again into a designated compactor. We love our compactors. And that gets taken to a waste energy facility to get burned and turned into power. I mentioned earlier the waste audits, and there's kind of a funny story real quick to touch on. We did a waste audit of one of our trash compactors, and we found this bright neon green thing in it. What is that? We realized it was a giant stuffed animal, basically, from one of our games areas. It didn't meet our show quality standards, so it was discarded. And we realized that was a missed opportunity. Not a huge volume. It's not going to change our recycling diversion efforts. But a lot of those little things add up. And that's how, we continue to grow and streamline. So kind of going into the last thing is kind of the future. We're looking at new equipment, whether that's equipment to handle our food waste, equipment to handle our commingled glass, tin, aluminum, whatever. If there's new equipment where we can send everything out of our property cleaner or manage it as best we can on property before it gets sent out, so we don't have to manage it on the back end. And then, like I said, expanding our current streams, doing audits. Our team at Volcano Bay realized they were discarding a lot of towels. And we said, you know what, we can 100% add those in with our textiles. And the last part of it, the future, as always, is just have fun. No matter what, we work at a theme park. So if we can't have fun with everything, then we know we need to be doing something better. So that's kind of it. The last thing I just want to add is that everything that we do, we always try and think of what's best for our team members, our guests, and our community. And we feel like this program definitely does that. So I'm excited to talk about it, excited to be acknowledged with this award. And I look forward to hearing what everyone else has to say. So thank you.
We're here in the city of Satellite Beach in Brevard County, Florida with Millie the Millennial Sea Turtle. Millie was created in partnership with 321 Millennials, Keep Brevard Beautiful in the city of Satellite Beach. We have a lot of recycling cans at all of our beach accesses, but none of them are as exciting or entertaining or engaging as Millie the Millennial Sea Turtle.
Millie has several factors to her. Not only is she a recycling bin, but she also has an education factor to her. As you see here, we have a board which talks about what can go into the recycling bin, and then also how the plastics affect the sea turtles. Typically, when we come out here on a monthly basis, we'll empty Millie, we'll sort through the recyclables, make sure they're properly recycled. At that time, we remove any contaminants, and then we take the recyclables and properly dispose of them. If there's anything that doesn't belong in Millie, we'll dispose of that in the proper way as well.
We'd like to thank all of our partners, Keep Brevard Beautiful, 321 Millennials, Sam Barker, Thomas Coet, and Christopher Maslow for coming together to create this project of an eco-art installation at Pelican Park in Satellite Beach.
Hi, my name is Barbara Martinez Guerrero, and I'm the Executive Director of Dream in Green. And joining me today is Alexandra Ender, Program Manager, and Diego Cancel, Program Coordinator. I want to first start off by thanking the Florida Department of Environmental Protection and the Florida Recycling Partnership Foundation for this amazing honor of receiving the 2021 Recycling Champion Award for Innovation and Education. Dream in Green's mission is to empower individuals, especially youth, to lead in the response to climate change and other environmental challenges facing South Florida. Dream in Green was founded in 2006 to address the unique environmental challenges that threaten the future viability of our community. We are now celebrating 15 years as our programs have expanded not only to Miami-Dade, but also Broward and Monroe County. Those programs are comprehensive environmental education programs for local citizens to connect to our community's needs of reducing greenhouse gas emissions through water and energy efficiency and conservation, as well as waste reduction methods. Our environmental literacy programs expose and empower the next generation to become environmental stewards and problem solvers. We aim to teach interdependence between Earth and its inhabitants to adopt new behaviors and spread the knowledge gained. Our solutions-based environmental education programs empower students to find solutions to local and global environmental challenges with our goal of educating and reaching behavioral change. Here's Alexandra to tell you more about one of those programs.
The Green Schools Challenge is a whole system program that engages K-12 students in hands-on activities to save energy and water at school and teaches them about the links between natural resources, climate change, and community sustainability. The overall goal of the program is to provide quality environmental education that aims to help students make informed decisions concerning the environment, as well as help students to build skills to act on these decisions to improve the well-being of other individuals, societies, and the global environment. The program covers 6 sustainability topics throughout the year that include energy efficiency, water conservation, waste reduction, alternative transportation, green living, and food security in order to expose students to those issues on a local, national, and international level. The benefits of a school enrolling in the Green Schools Challenge are that the program increases environmental literacy and students develop leadership, teamwork, and critical thinking skills. It also empowers students to make informed decisions about environmental issues that impact their communities. Finally, it increases building efficiency to decrease operating costs while improving occupants' health. We are consistently in over 110 schools every year, and overall our programs have served over 330 unique schools in South Florida. We have served over 100,000 individuals, roughly 84,000 of which are K-12 students. In addition to serving individuals, students and teacher efforts have helped Miami-Dade County Public School District save over $3 million in energy costs because they have saved over 35 million kilowatt hours of electricity, resulting in offsetting almost 60 million pounds of CO2 emissions. The Green Schools Challenge overall long-term goal is to promote environmental stewardship. To do so, the program aims to provide a quality education that aims to help make informed decisions concerning the environment, to provide opportunities that allow individuals to explore environmental issues, engage in critical thinking and problem solving, and to take action to improve the environment. We want to mobilize schools to implement environmental changes that build sustainability through STEAM disciplines, and we want to introduce resource-efficient behaviors that become part of the students' daily routines.
In addition to this, Dream and Green also provides the water and energy learning and behavior workshops. What we do through those workshops is educate residents on water and energy conservation, as well as waste management services and recycling. So we provide residents with reusable water bottles, a shower timer, a low flow shower head, low energy light bulbs, as well as other pamphlets teaching them on how they can take advantage on different ways that they, with Miami-Dade County, that they can save money updating their house. So thanks to our grants and donors, we have been able to do over 95 workshops. And through these workshops, we have been able to save over 8 million gallons of water, 1.8 kilowatt hours of electricity, $276,000 of utility costs, which is really important to us. We want people to be able to save money, but also be able to help the environment. And we've been able to off-put 2.74 million pounds of CO2 or reduced. We have also been able to make a lot of partnerships and also reach a lot of different residents through working with people like City of Miami Beach, City of Doral, City of North Miami, other partners like Citizens for a Better South Florida. And we've been able to not only reach adults, but also younger age people that can make a real impact. And Dream and Green is also proud to announce that soon we will be releasing Recyclepedia, which is an app and a website that will teach you the who, what, when, where, why of how to recycle, be it from curbside recycling, but also individual items that we might have at home that we want to know how to recycle properly and reduce our recycling pollution, but also through that, reducing our pollution as a whole, which will be better for our health.
Thank you again for this amazing honor of the Recycling Champion Award for Innovation and Education. Please reach out to us if you have any other questions or follow us on our social media.
My name is Lisa Waters. I am the first Vice Regent of the Abigail Wright Chamberlain chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution. We are very proud to be part of the 2021 Recycling Champions. Our DAR chapter includes more than 120 women in the Brevard County community that trace their lineage to a patriot that served in the Revolutionary War. Our regent is Michelle Abbey. And before I talk about our project, I'd like to share a little bit more about our association. The DAR, founded in 1890 and headquartered in Washington, D.C., is a nonprofit, non-political, volunteer women's service organization dedicated to promoting patriotism, preserving American history, and securing America's future through better education for children. Members volunteer millions of hours annually to their local communities. These volunteer hours include supporting active duty military personnel and assisting veterans, awarding thousands of dollars in scholarships and financial aid each year to students, and supporting schools for underserved children with annual donations exceeding $1 million. The Florida Society of DAR includes 110 chapters throughout the state, from the Panhandle to Jacksonville, Central and Southwest Florida, Southeast Florida, and the Keys. State chapters share the same mission as the national organization to promote historic preservation, education, and patriotism in our communities. DAR's dedication to conservation encourages each chapter to identify and participate in an important local project that focuses on protecting and conserving our natural resources. Each year, the chapter leadership selects a community conservation project to support that reflects our organization's mission, goals, and values. Past projects have included restoration of veterans' graves, working with Brevard County to clean up our beaches and collect mangrove papules. I probably pronounced that wrong. And working with the Brevard Zoo to restore Indian River Lagoon mangroves. So now let's talk about our project. We're very proud to be supporting the Florida Institute of Technology Oceanography Department on the Indian River Lagoon Water Quality Research Project, Bottle Cap Recycling. Our partners include, of course, Florida Tech, One Lagoon, and the Florida Recycling Partnership Foundation. For those of you that might not be familiar with our area, this map illustrates the lagoon that stretches 181 miles along the east coast of Florida, Volusia County to the north, and through Brevard County, Indian River, St. Lucie, and Martin counties, and all the way to Palm Beach County. The lagoon is home to more than 4,000 plant and animal species and is known as the most biodiverse habitat in North Florida. In 1990, the Indian River Lagoon was designated as an estuary of national significance by the EPA's National Estuary Program. The beauty of the lagoon and its environment are definitely worth preserving. The species include many birds, many types of flora and fauna. It's used for recreational purposes, marine purposes, and it is enjoyed by people from all over the United States, not just in the state of Florida. Some analysis was done a few years ago evaluating the economic impacts of the lagoon. Because lagoon is important to our region, not only from an environmental standpoint, but also from an economic one. The lagoon contributes more than $7.6 billion in economic value from contributions in living resources, the marine industry, defense and aerospace, recreation and visitor services, and resource management. In 2014, the lagoon attracted 7.4 million visitors, resulting in an average of $162 of spending per day in the region. All of this translates into jobs. Economic estimates are that the lagoon creates almost 72,000 jobs annually. We are convinced that a clean and sustainable lagoon means a higher quality of life for our community. So about the project. We are supporting the FIT Oceanography Department, Dr. Austin Fox, and graduate student Abby Gearing. This research project studies methods to improve water quality in the lagoon via aeration, producing good bacteria that will convert nitrogen in the water into gas. Nitrogen promotes the growth of toxic algae and other negative environmental impacts. The BioBall, which is what this project has been researching, offers a surface that provides the growth of good bacteria. The major challenges, however, are cost and sustainability. So enter the humble bottle cap. Plastic bottle caps offer the perfect environment to grow good bacteria and are sustainable. Few people know that the plastic bottle cap is not normally recyclable. That is something that we learned along the way as part of this project. In April 2020, our chapter learned about the project, and Regent Michelle and the membership adopted it as our state conservation project. Since that time, AWC has collected more than 8,000 bottle caps in support of the project. That completes my presentation. The Abigail Wright Chamberlain chapter of the DAR is extremely proud to receive the 2021 Recycling Champion Award for Innovation and Community Action. We'd like to thank the Recycling Partnership Foundation and the partners that we've worked with on this project, FIT and One Lagoon. Thank you.
Well, I hope everybody enjoyed the presentations that you heard today. Some of the photos that you saw in the very beginning of the webinar were from the press conference we held in conjunction with the Department of Environmental Protection during Florida Recycles Week back in November. DEP presented 3 local governments with recycling recognition awards for exceeding the 75% goal in 2020. The winners were Charlotte and Pinellas County, who had a 78% recycling rate, and Lee County, who had a 76% recycling rate. And DEP also presented Northwood Grumman's with a recycling recognition award. They have a 77% recycling rate. So congratulations to Charlotte, Lee, Pinellas, and Northwood Grumman's. And a special thank you to Deputy Secretary John Truitt, Karen Moore, Chris Perry, and the entire DEP communications team. We love working with them, and we're looking forward to our next Florida Recycles Week in November of 2022. So before we start with our Q&A, I would like to thank our Florida Recycle Week sponsors, which include Publix Supermarkets, Coca-Cola Beverages Florida, Wawa, and Waste Management. Thanks to their financial support, we were able to do great educational videos during the week. If you missed any of the sessions, please go to our website, www.flrecycling.org, and you can enjoy them on your own time. A copy of this presentation will also be up on the website, hopefully next week. So let's get started with some questions for our presenters. So do I see Joe? Good morning, Joe. How are you? Question. So what was your budget for your, an approximate budget for your bingo and for your cards that you had, your signage for your cards?
It wasn't overly expensive. I mean, I don't know exact numbers. It was, but what we do is dedicate a certain amount of dollars towards our communications office, and then we also fund a position that supports that kind of works between our solid waste office and our communications office. So yeah, so that's the budget breakdown the best I could. I don't have exact numbers on the actual per flyer that went out. It's just kind of lumped into our overall costs.
That's great. So your yard signs for campaigns, it's going to be campaign season again. Where did those signs go?
We utilized News Cycle out in Plant City. Yep.
They're one of our members, our newest member, matter of fact. So great. That's good to hear. How's your battery recycling program going?
It's good. We're getting a lot of participation. It's currently for internal city staff only. And we have it at 5 different locations throughout the city. So make it kind of we strategically placed them in areas we figured would have a lot more battery generation or usage. So we have them at our communications office, which is close to the entrance of City Hall.
so people can utilize it when they're coming in and out. And then also in our IT offices, we have them over in our fleet yards and a couple other satellite places throughout the city. So it's been growing. We've already sent a couple return buckets back and gotten ones to replace. So yeah, so that one's moving forward. And we also do regular communications internally. So with our intranet that we have with the city and then newsletters, we kind of spread the word about it that way. So yeah, that's exciting. And it also gives us an opportunity to inform our city staff about the importance of keeping batteries out of that they're recyclable in the right stream. So keeping them out of your mixed recycling and also your garbage. So just an added opportunity to inform staff about the right procedures for recycling.
Great. And you're doing that with Duracell?
We're doing it with Battery Solutions.
Battery Solutions. Okay, great. Great. Well, we're going to circle back with you later on to find out how you're doing with that whole program, because it really is very exciting.
Yeah.
You guys are doing a great job.
Good. Thank you.
Thanks. All right, Lisa, talk about some things that are not in your normal recycling stream. We love your storefront recycling bins that you have. I love the new signage too. I'm a big Publix shopping person. Where shopping is a pleasure. I know a couple of people typed that in, that they were just so impressed with everything Publix is doing. So kind of walk us through. On Sunday mornings, I go to Publix to do my shopping, and I take all my plastic bags and my plastic wrap. A lot of people don't realize that it's not only just the plastic shopping bags, but you can take sleeves from newspaper. You can take your dry cleaning covers. You can take the wrap that's around toilet paper and paper towels there. So I make a big bag and off I go. What happens to it from that point?
Okay, so we collect all that, and we have what we call a clean out once a week, and it is loaded on our trailers and taken back to our return center, where it is further sorted and baled with like materials, and then it goes into a trailer and it's held for pickup till our recycler, till it's full. Then our recycler comes and picks it up. So what happens to our bags is they take it and they process it into plastic pellets, which they then sell to manufacturers that make a variety of products, from picnic tables to park benches and handheld shopping baskets. So it makes a difference.
It does. Great job on that. So Billy Joe, let me go over to you. So it was fascinating to hear about corporate recycling and services center that you have. So how'd you get started? I mean, it's such a huge plan. Did you pick like one item that you wanted to focus on, and then it grew from there?
Yeah, so this facility is located at a power distribution center. So it started with transformer recycling. And then just as sustainability efforts increased, and, there's so many sites located throughout the state, having this one centralized location, it just made sense. It's also an area where our centralized supply chain people work and stage materials with a centralized warehouse. So, you have warehouses, at the power plants and stuff like that, and they're almost in daily communication with these people at the supply chain and areas. So yeah, so it just came out of necessity, because you kind of need that one person to help the people at the plants figure out what to do with stuff, and it just made sense. So we'll just have them send it to us and we'll deal with it, instead of having just multiple operations across the state.
And it was fascinating because a lot of the different areas might have a material that they're not using, but another division of yours could use that material. So it's a great, either the reuse or recycling, and then also your reduction of waste. So you're doing a great job. Congratulations on your award.
Thank you.
Jonathan, so this is not necessarily the recycling part of it, but I've known Rarick Pacific for a long time, and just always been so excited about the work that they've done. There is such a thing as a bear-resistant container. There is no such thing as a bear-proof container, but there's a bear-resistant container, and Rarick Pacific is really known for that. But where your carts and all that are made of the materials, you talked a little bit before about how when you have a certain color, you have to have less recycling content to it, post-consumer recycling content. Is that right? Am I getting that right?
Yes, typically when you take mixed materials, PCR and the bulky rigid and all of the other different sources of raw material that we take in, typically when you recycle that, you end up with a dirty gray. And the easiest thing to do is then default that to black. So typically when you look at a recycled product, it doesn't tend to be the bright color that many customers would hope and expect. With our co-injection, we're able to put that dirty gray in the middle and then surround it by green or red or blue virgin material. If that was all to be mixed up, it would again become that gray color. So that's what the technology that we have enables us for those customers where color is important, and we have several in the waste management space, green and yellow and blue are critically important to their brand identity. The encapsulation of that regrind in the middle allows us to achieve very high levels, 40%, but still offer the customer the opportunity to retain their brand identity. If black is okay and preferred, then we can increase up to 50%.
Great. They have a facility in Orlando that I actually went to for a tour a couple of years ago, and we're hoping to maybe have the foundation do a tour back there again so we can learn more about it. But you guys are doing great work, and we thank you.
Thanks. We'd be happy to host you, of course.
Wonderful. So Jason, how did you get your restaurants on board to do your organics recycling?
Begging and pleading a lot. No, a lot of it was just kind of explaining the benefits of it and kind of letting them know that instead of putting it, in a trash container, then someone has to take the bag, take it outside, throw it in the compactor. We just have a rolling bin and we just roll it in. They can put it right at their prep station. You saw in the picture, the fruit cups at our production kitchen, they're able to cut right into that bin and then roll it out back. So obviously there's a little bit of a cost savings on the trash bags, which everyone loves, save money wherever we can. Then it's also easier for the team members and safer. That way they're not lugging around all these heavy bags and all that. So once we kind of had a proof of concept at a couple locations and they were able to kind of look at it and say, oh, this does make sense. They were actually our foods team was the ones that was actually asking, like I mentioned, we had to kind of scale the program back. They're the ones that were asking us like, hey, when can we scale back up? Like we want to do more. Going into, the latter part of 2021. So the initial buy-in was a little rough a couple of years ago, but then once it clicked, then we couldn't onboard everyone fast enough.
That's great to hear. Do you also do the recycling for glass for your the bar end of it?
Yep, we do collect that. We add that right now. It all goes out commingled, but we're looking at some possible future options for glass, knowing that lack of a better phrase, the volatility of the glass market right now. We're looking at some possible future options for some new equipment to manage that in-house. So don't want to give too much away, still in the planning phases, but definitely, like I said, always looking at what we can be better at.
Well, we'll definitely bring you back to find out how you're doing, but you're doing such a great job. And I was really impressed about your contaminations rates when you were talking about cardboard and your other bales, that you're just really, you've had very few rejections. So that just shows a true commitment from your employees to your team members.
It's all them. Usually when I go down to our sorting area for the plastic and all that, they're not upset about having to sort through, waste, and they're not, like they find a day old turkey leg. Sorry, I know it's for, but they see this stuff. They're not upset about, the job they have to do. They're upset that why aren't people doing the right thing? So it's that passionate. And then I explained to them that I'm like, because a lot of them have been doing this for many, many years. And I explained to them I'm like, remember when you started, how much trash we got in? Look at it now. And they're like, and when you give them that perspective, they're like, it has gotten better. I'm like, now, do you know where this came from? Like, is there like a label on it that I can go back to a department and go, hey, look, you're the only one that sells this kind of product. How can we help you be better? So,
right. Cool.
Also, I realized in my presentation, I forgot to thank you guys. So thank you for everything. I was just so excited to talk about it and everything that we do, because I can ramble on like I'm doing now. But thank you all for the recognition. It means a lot to all of us.
Well, congratulations. It was well deserved, that's for sure. All right, where's Brian for Keep Brevard Beautiful? How did you ever decide on a turtle? Millie the turtle.
Well, you know, the Space Coast ends up with quite a bit of the turtle population during nesting season.
Okay.
And, you know, we work closely with the Brevard Zoo. They have a turtle rescue there, and SeaWorld's always out there rescuing turtles. And we also have the sea turtle preservation. So aside from space, we have a pretty strong presence with turtles. That's where we went.
It's really cute. I mean, I can't wait to see it in person, but all the photos and everything, it was just very creative. It seems like it's not that heavy either, watching you know, your team member take the top off to take it out. So it's on a hinge and then it goes back and forth?
Yes, it's a hinge and it does lock, but no, 2 people can lift her and transport her anywhere. We have used her several times as like a public engagement at, you know, like a recycling day, Earth Day, stuff like that. So she is movable. You know, to kind of go back to the turtle thing, we're looking at doing another one, and that's going to be a pelican. So,
ooh, that's very cool. So we have a question. Do people throw garbage inside the turtle bin just because they want to put something and they don't have any recyclables? I saw where Nick was discouraging somebody from putting trash in there on the thing. How much contamination are you getting?
we do get quite a bit. I know when she first came around, we were pulling dirty diapers, other things out of her mouth. That's why we have the opening just a little bit larger than a Gatorade bottle. Okay. Unfortunately, we are getting fast food bags and everything, and then that clogs up the hole. So that's why we're looking at a Pelican with a larger entranceway. But unfortunately, we do get quite a bit of contamination. We have the education board that's right behind her explaining what's supposed to go in her, what's supposed to not. But as our staff goes through and empties her out, they do sort through, remove all the contaminants, and properly recycle what we can out of it.
Wonderful. Do you have is there a garbage can close by, a trash can close by to it?
Yes, it's in a state park, or excuse me, a city park. So there are other trash receptacles along the way. There's one maybe 20 feet from her by the bathrooms.
I know people are sometimes just a little too lazy to look for the real, garbage can, trash can, and then they just think, oh, it's just okay to put it in there.
Exactly.
Cost.
She was actually relatively cheap. We made her out of recycled surfboard foam. We had a surfboard shaper that's here, and when they have a surfboard, comes in a rectangle, they cut the piece that they need, and there's a lot of scrap on the outside of it. So we had a guy collect a bunch of it. He pressed it together. The artist donated their time, and then the painter, same with him. So it was relatively cheap to create. The biggest cost is just maintaining her on a daily basis, or weekly basis, having our crew go out there. But we actually have a contract just down the street, so it's nothing for him to just pull in for 10, 15 minutes, empty her, sort it, and then move on to the next job.
That's very good. Somebody suggested that maybe put a clear bag in Millie's receptacle so that customers can see what the items are in the bin. That's a great idea, Allison.
That is, and that's something that we could definitely do, and that's a good idea. Thank you.
Great. Well, good luck on that. Let us know when the Pelican. So you have a name for the Pelican yet?
Well, Pelicans are actually our mascot for Keep Brevard Beautiful, because we have Pelican, so Pelican Recycle. So that's where we're going with the Pelican. But ideally, we want to find funding to have these sort of gobies created throughout the entire Brevard County, and have different themes, and get other cities and artists involved, and make a strong presence with them throughout all the beaches.
Great. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And let's move over to Dream in Green. Barbara, Alexandra, and Diego, you guys are doing such a fabulous job with our kids. And that's where you need to start. I mean, that, when we did the law back in 2010 about the 75% recycling goal, there wasn't the emphasis on education like there is today. What has been, in your mind, the best way of educating kids about recycling? What's been the one that you go, oh, they're getting that, they're understanding that?
I think it's interesting because, I mean, children pick up things extremely quickly. And so what we're finding is that they like to serve as role models, especially, you know, the fourth and fifth graders love to tell the little ones what to do. Uh, and so by creating incentives to have those fourth and fifth graders at the elementary school level to be the leaders in their school, to have these teams that go in each classroom and pick up the recycling from each classroom, and the younger students see that, that definitely is very telling. And then you see the younger students definitely emulating what the fourth and fifth graders do. At the middle and high school level, what is interesting is the level of engagement from the students, because they know how important recycling is. And we're seeing some high school students even going to talk to Miami-Dade County Public Schools to advocate for less plastics in their cafeteria. We're looking at other teams of students that are trying to get their school to go plastic free. So it's really interesting because there's a youth movement that is going on that is really helping those students to be leaders. And they are really concerned about what is happening in their future, as we're seeing with all the movement, this youth movement. So they're the ones that are asking their teachers, does our school recycle? How can we expand more? And so, especially since a lot of our schools are close to the water, it definitely, they see it, sea turtles, they see the plastics in the beach, they're concerned about the turtles. And so what we see is that a lot of that this is one of the lessons that is really easy for them to relate to and want to do something about, that inspires some kind of behavioral change. And, some of the activities we have, one really cute one is for the students to make their own reusable bags out of like old t-shirts. That's a really, popular activity, and that could be done K through 12. And it's really interesting to get pictures of the students with their bags and go into, Publix or with their bags, with the reusable bags, and then teach their parents. And we're seeing this reverse education where the students are teaching their parents and taking what they're learning in school and actually applying it in their homes and in their community.
I need to connect you with Sue Fleck up in the Indian River County. They did a project with a RAP program. So I want to say it was the Kiwanis group, provided them with recycling bins for straight plastic. So it was the plastic bags, plastic film and all. And the kids would bring that to school, put it in the bins. I want to say it's Kiwanis, I may be wrong there, the organization, but they would pick it up and then they would take it to their local Publix store. So it could be taken and recycled from there. So it was just a great way to say, if you've got the plastics, like you said, there are things that are still going to be wrapped. You're still going to have some of that in your life. So why not take it to your school and have it so that they can do a project with a local philanthropy kind of group and have them recycle it. So that might be an idea. I'll connect you. I'll make sure to connect you and Sue so she can tell you what she did and how she did it. And it's a really successful program.
Great, thank you. Yes.
Great. Lisa, I tell you, it was so much fun learning about your project. And the Indian River Lagoon is just so important to, the East Coast of Florida, really to Florida. And I love the stats that you gave about what economic development, what it means to the community, but also what a valuable resource it is in that area. How did you, was it FIT that came up and said, we're looking for bottle caps and can you help us get them? How did you two connect?
Great question. Thank you. Actually, we read about it in a local hometown newspaper. The school had gotten some publicity and our chapter is always looking for worthy conservation projects to get involved in. So we read about it in the paper, and our local regent and leadership reached out to the university, and they were very welcoming and accepting our donations. So through the number of months, our chapter members, our force of 120 ladies, collected all of their bottle caps, brought them to meetings. We consolidated them and turned them over to the school. And we continue to collect and are looking really forward to seeing how this project works out and what the ultimate results are, because it's very innovative, and we were very, very, very proud to be part of that project.
It's a really cool one. So they take the bottle caps and they put them in mesh bags, correct? And then they strategically place them around. They move them quite a bit, from what I understand. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah, I think that's part of the first phase of the research project, and then it'll move into future phases. But I think one of the challenges has been finding that the right size of the mesh bags. You know, they can't have those bottle caps escaping from their mesh bags and providing yet another challenge. But I think the project is moving forward very, very positively, and we're really excited to be part of it. And for everybody on this call, I've gotten great ideas of how we might be able to move forward in the next couple of years on future conservation projects. So if there's any way that our group and association can assist any of you on your projects, please reach out to us.
That's great. I'll make sure that everybody has everybody's contact information. I know Brian's over there going, call me. But that's, you know, it's not only that we wanted to acknowledge all these different wonderful organizations. And what I love that the Jim Moran College of Entrepreneurship did is it was a variety of organizations. So we had some of our top corporations in the state of Florida. We had nonprofits, we had local governments. And we wanted to recognize you, but also, how can we all get together and do some more projects? What else can we do to help each other? And so that's part of our deal too, with our whole program. But thank you so much. All right, do we have any more questions? All right, I think we're all set. So just wanted to let you know that we have 2 more events coming up in February. February the 2nd, Waste Management is going to be having a sustainability forum, and there'll be information about that on our website. And then we're having the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, has a national recycling strategy that was released in November. We have Barbara Alfano, who is for the District 4, Region 4, I should say, and she's going to do a presentation about the whole end of the national recycling strategy, and also some of the funding that's coming through the infrastructure bill that was passed last fall. So it'll be great to get some information from her. And then Karen Moore's agreed to talk about the Florida Recycling Report that they just issued to the Florida legislature. So that's going to be on February the 23rd at 1 o'clock. And once again, we'll be sending out information about that and having information on our website. So I just want to thank all of our presenters today. What a great job. This has been so educational. I mean, I think everybody's learned something, you know, from this. That's for sure. I know I've learned a lot. But I just want to thank you all for your time and everybody that participated with us. Just wanted to say thank you so much, and be safe and just keep recycling, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.